What's good, crypto fam? Holla at your boy in the live chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin and Ethereum technical analysis and breaking news. France's third largest bank officially approved to offer Bitcoin custody and trading to clients. Let's go. Also, check this out. El Salvador international bonds are now up 60% this year. You ain't seen nothing yet, says the Bitcoin president, Nayib Bukele. Shout out to El Salvador. Also in today's show, Bitcoin miners are hedging with the recent sell-offs. I'll be breaking down the latest Bitfinex report, as well as the Litecoin halving. Did you know it's only 13 days away? But where's the Litecoin price rally? We'll be discussing this. We'll also be discussing Robert Kennedy Jr. vowing to back the US dollar with Bitcoin if elected president. A pretty big story. We'll also be discussing a Bitcoin rally will lead to a speculative blow-off top next year in 2024, according to Mark Yusko. We'll also be discussing Fundstrat's Thomas Lee predicting a Bitcoin rally to $200,000 per coin, and says that people are underestimating the impact of a spot Bitcoin ETF, which he says is very likely. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And those of you new to the channel, I want you to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And welcome y'all just joining us. Today is July 19th, 2023. I'm your host, JV, and this is pod episode number 1346. And guess what? The market is pumping. You gotta love it. Respect the pump. Checking out the market watch right here, which you can see on your screen. You can see Bitcoin up 1%, trading back above that psychological level of 30,000. We have Ether up 1%, trading back above 1,900. XRP clearly the top gainer and the top coins, up almost 11%, trading above 84 cents. And also naturally XLM also breaking out big time, while Cardano and Solana are also in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap is sitting just above 1.2 trillion with about 30 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance at 48.3%, with the Ether dominance 19% even. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, XLM, aka Stellar Lumens, is up even more than XRP, up 24%, trading just under 16 cents, followed by Optimism up 11%, trading at $1.59, followed by Maker up almost 10%, trading just above $988. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, you can see a sea of green, which is good news for the altcoin market. XLM leading this pack, up 22%. We got Mint up 11.5%, and Bits up 12%. Which alts are you currently bullish on, if any? Let me know in the live chat, and at the end of the show, I'll read all your comments out loud. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated dead in the middle, which is a 50 neutral. Yesterday was a 56 in greed, last week a 64, and last month a 47, which is neutral. So there you have it. And special shout out to everyone interacting in the live chat. I greatly appreciate your continued support on a daily basis. As you know, I do this show 7 days a week. Now let's dive into the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. And today we'll also do a little bit of Ethereum technical analysis. Why not? Let's break this down. Bitcoin slid below the 20-day exponential moving average of 30,100 July 17th and tested the crucial support of 29.5 July 18th. The long tail on the day's candlestick shows that the lower levels continue to attract buyers, which you can see here on the Bitcoin daily chart. Now the 20-day EMA is flat and the RSI is near the midpoint, indicating a balance between supply and demand. If buyers force the price above the 20-day EMA, Bitcoin could rally to 31,000 and then to 31.8. Sellers are expected to protect this zone with vigor. The next trading move could begin on a break of 32.4 or a drop below 29.5, and if the range breaks that 29.5 level, Bitcoin can plunge to 27.5 and later to 26, which would be a great BTFD opportunity, right? But on the contrary, if the bulls push the price above 32.4, we could head on up to 40,000, as there is not much resistance between 32 and 40K. Now for some Ethereum price analysis, the long tail on Ether's July 17th and 18th candlestick shows the bulls are buying the dips to the 50-day simple moving average of $1,853, as you can see here in the Ethereum daily chart. Now this suggests that the ETH/USD T-pair could remain stuck between the 50-day simple moving average and 2,000 for a little bit longer. A minor positive in favor of the bulls is that the 20-day EMA, which is roughly 1,900, is sloping up gradually, and the RSI is in a positive territory. And if buyers catapult the price above 2,000, it can start the next leg up of a move to 2,100. Which crypto are you most bullish on right now? Is it Bitcoin? Is it Ethereum? Is it another altcoin? Let me know. And breaking news, this is pretty big. France's third largest bank, I'm probably going to butcher the name. I'm going to try. Societe Generale officially approved to offer Bitcoin custody and trading to clients as mass adoption continues, as the Bitcoin game theory is in full effect. And good news in El Salvador, their international bonds are up 60% this year. Let's freaking go. And the president says, you ain't seen nothing yet. One love. Let's go. Now for our next story of the day, let's discuss some Bitcoin miners and what they're doing right now, which is selling. And then we'll discuss the Litecoin halving. Then we'll be discussing lots of more interesting stories here. So here we go. Bitcoin mining companies are employing de-risking strategies by offloading their Bitcoin to the exchanges, according to market report by Bitfinex. The crypto trading platform's latest newsletter addresses the Bitcoin mining sector at length, highlighting a recent surge in miners selling large volumes of Bitcoin to the exchanges. This has led to a corresponding increase in the value of shares in Bitcoin mining companies as institutional interest in Bitcoin picks up this year in 2023. And this report notes that Poolin has accounted for the highest amount of Bitcoin sold on the market in recent weeks. Quoting the report here, miners are clearly bullish on Bitcoin as they commit more resources to mining, hence triggering the mining difficulty, but they are hedging their position, hence the dispatch of more Bitcoin to the exchanges. That's what's up. The report goes on to suggest that miners are hedging positions on derivative exchanges with 70,000 Bitcoin and 30-day cumulative volume transferred just in the first week of July of this year. And while miners historically transfer Bitcoin to the exchanges using derivatives as a hedge for large spot positions, the report labels the high volumes as uncharacteristic. Quoting the report again, a transfer to exchanges on this scale is extremely rare and potentially showcases the new miner behavior. Bitfinex also cited data from Glassnode indicating that Poolin has been responsible for a large portion of this activity, with the mining pool offloading Bitcoin to Binance. And how many of you are Bitcoin miners or crypto miners in general? Let me know in the live chat. The analyst also notes several plausible reasons which could be behind the recent mining behavior. This could include hedging activities in the derivative market, carrying out over-the-counter orders, or transferring funds to the exchanges. For other reasons, the increase in mining difficulty also indicates new mining power being added to the Bitcoin network, which only makes it that much stronger. Now, analysts suggest this is seen as a sign of increased network health, as well as increased confidence in the profitability of mining, either by increased Bitcoin prices or improved hardware, as the report shares here. Thus, miners are at a peculiar situation where they are rapidly increasing their mining potential as the Bitcoin halving inches closer, about 9 months away. Let's go. While simultaneously hedging their exposure to an extent which is higher and more cautious than the previous cycles. Now, the report also suggests that on-chain Bitcoin movements reflect the transfer of supply from the long-term hodlers to the short-term hodlers. Where my long-term hodlers at? This investor behavior is said to be commonly seen in bull market conditions as new market traders look for quick profits while long-term hodlers capitalize on the increased prices. So there you have it. And other big news, we have a Litecoin halving only 13 days out. Now, typically, Litecoin tends to go pretty crazy on the lead up to the halving, but we haven't seen a lot of Litecoin activity as far as the price action. So could it already be priced in, or are we about to see a parabolic run? Let's discuss it, shall we? Now, also, interestingly enough, we know the co-founder of Litecoin is Thomas Lee, and at the end of the show, we're going to be discussing Thomas Lee's $200,000 Bitcoin price prediction, his most recent one he just made on TV. So here we go. In less than 2 weeks, the Litecoin block subsidy will drop from 12.5 Litecoin to 6.25 per block. And despite its fair share of controversy, Litecoin remains the 12th largest crypto by market cap, roughly at $6.8 billion. Its miners currently take in or rake in 7,200 Litecoin and block rewards daily, which is equal to a US dollar value of around $670,000. And as the halving nears, major investors appear to be seeking an easy trade as Milky Bull Crypto and other noting whales are buying up almost 60 million of Litecoin in the past 2 days, which he outlines here on cryptonewsalerts crypto Twitter. And in Bitcoin terms, there appears to be a little worth celebrating. Litecoin currently trades near the all-time lows against the largest crypto, according to data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView, a trend which has persisted through the years regardless of the previous halvings. And as of July 19th, the Litecoin/Bitcoin trades at 0.0031 with its all-time low of 0.0017 coming in June 2022, roughly a year ago. So by contrast, one Litecoin was once worth as much as 0.052 BTC, an equivalent to $1,560 today. Now look at this Litecoin/Bitcoin 1 month candle chart. Yikes. Now, Litecoin's all-time high in USD came May 2021 when it traded at over $400 per token versus its more modest $93 today. That means it's down by a factor of roughly 4x, right? Now, little consolidation for the Bitcoin forks. In terms of weakness against Bitcoin, Litecoin is far from the worst performer. Popular comparison through the years has been forks of Bitcoin versus Bitcoin itself, and the results continue to paint a grim picture of the reality of going against the market's network of choice. Now, Bitcoin Cash saw all-time lows in Bitcoin last month, and despite a bounce since, remains at just 0.00817 BTC, which is 98% below its all-time highs of 0.432 BTC. It's very depressing to look at this Bitcoin slash Bitcoin chart. Just note, if you're holding Bitcoin and you've been holding on to Bitcoin, you made the right move. If you're holding on to Bitcoin Cash over Bitcoin, you have been wrecked. 98%, just saying. And for Satoshi Vision, I say why even discuss it, but naturally it's also 98% below all-time highs and not a good look. We all know there's only one true, authentic Bitcoin, and that's normal Bitcoin. We just call Bitcoin, right? It doesn't have any other words before or after the name. And with that being shared, any of these alts you currently bullish on, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi Vision, let me know in the comments below. Now let's discuss a big breaking story of the day, and that's JFK Jr. Sharing the following. He vows to back the US dollar with Bitcoin if elected president. Whoa, this would be major, naturally. Democratic presidential candidate Kennedy Jr. promised to progressively back the U.S. dollar with Bitcoin if he is elected president. Speaking at a July 19th Heal the Divide POC event, Kennedy claimed that backing the US dollar with what he called hard currency, including gold, silver, platinum, or Bitcoin, could help restabilize the American economy. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the presidential candidate. Quoting him here, backing dollars and US debt obligations with hard assets could help restore strength back to the dollar, rein in inflation, and usher in a new era of American financial stability, peace, and prosperity. That's what's up. And shout out to y'all in the chat. Kelvin, Maximus, Chris Minka, what's up? Brogan, good to see y'all. AB Franklin, what up? Kennedy explained the process would be gradual and that depending on the plan's success, he'd adjust the amount of backing for the dollar. Quoting him again, my plan would be to start very, very small. Perhaps 1% of issued T-bills would be backed by hard currency, by gold, silver, platinum, or Bitcoin. And additionally, Kennedy declared he would make Bitcoin to US dollar conversions exempt from capital gains taxes. That is major if he made it happen. Naturally, also consider presidents have a lot of great ideas. It doesn't mean they have the power to turn them into fruition, just pointing out the obvious. But anyways, in his view, the proposed exemption would spur investment and incentivize ventures to grow their business in the US instead of other crypto-friendly jurisdictions such as Singapore or Switzerland. Kennedy's latest round of pro-Bitcoin comments come in the wake of his appearance at the Bitcoin Miami conference May 19th, where he announced he would accept political campaign donations in Bitcoin. And on July 9th, investment disclosures found that Kennedy owned up to $250,000 worth of Bitcoin, despite his previous statements where he did not have any exposure to the asset. And let me clarify why he said during that event in Miami, where he was the keynote speaker at the Bitcoin Miami conference, that he didn't own any Bitcoin because he purchased it after he spoke at the event. Very simple to understand. And there's also speculation if it was his wife or himself who purchased it, but they're a unity at the end of the day. So he still owns the Bitcoin regardless if he purchased it or his wife. And I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, back to the story. RFK Jr. is one of the many presidential hopefuls to make sweeping crypto-based promises. July 14th, we also had Republican presidential candidate and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis promised to ban central bank digital currencies if elected president. Quoting him here, if I am the president, on day one, we will nix central bank digital currency. Done, dead, not happening in this country, DeSantis said. So there you have it. All I know is this. Me personally, I am pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDC. So any presidential candidate who says, I am pro-Bitcoin, we're going to exempt taxes and we're going to nick, CBDCs in the butt on day one, that's pretty enticing to me. I don't know what's more, important, personally. Maybe other things we won't get into because we don't want to talk politics. But nonetheless, which presidential candidate would you vote for or will you vote for next year? It's right around the corner. Let me know in the comments right down below. And now let's discuss a blow off top next year in 2024. And let's get this bull market pumping, shall we? Here we go. BlackRock's app for the Bitcoin ETF has sparked the beginning of a new crypto bull market, which will go parabolic at some point closer to the halving, scheduled for April 2024, according to Mark Yusko, the chief investment officer and founder of Morgan Creek Digital. Based on Metcalfe's law model, the fair value of Bitcoin is around $55,000, so I think we drift upwards toward that level, he said in a recent interview. And after that, Yusko predicted speculators will come into the market en masse, pushing the Bitcoin price beyond its fair value to new all-time highs. Send it. Let's go. He also says we probably will have a speculative blow off top sometime in 2024 that leads to the next downturn in the next crypto winter. So interesting. He believes the blow off top will be in 2024 and not 2025. What are your thoughts? Yusko is highly confident that BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF app will be approved by the SEC, thus becoming one of the catalysts for the next parabolic bull run, as he shares here. I think it's a done deal. I think it's been a done deal for years. They have just been waiting for the right time. Facts. And to find out more, check the show notes below the video in the description. I'll include this interview he recently did with Cointelegraph entitled "The Bull Run Has Begun, Price Prediction with a 500% Rally Coming." And let's get it. And with that being shared, now let's break down our final story of the day and the moment you have all been waiting for, the most recent price prediction from Tom Lee, who was recently interviewed on TV. I transcribed it on Crypto Twitter and shared it. And also there's a really good article sharing some of the highlights. So if you're in a time crunch like many of us are, you can just get what you need right here on the Crypto News Alerts podcast. So yeah, let's break this baby down. The managing partner of Fundstrat Global Advisors and the co-founder of Litecoin, I must point out, Tom Lee, is making a six-figure prediction for Bitcoin. Here you can see I transcribed what he shared in this interview. I'll include these resources as well below the video. Lee says in a new CNBC interview that Bitcoin could explode by over 500% from the current level within 5 years. So actually, this is a very conservative prediction, as many analysts are anticipating a $200,000 Bitcoin price potentially between 2024 and 2025. So I wanted to point that out. But asked to give a timeline for his prediction, the Fundstrat managing partner says Bitcoin can surge to something around 200,000 within 5 years. And on the rationale for his bullish thesis, he shared the following: Bitcoin is very useful. I think in the US, there is a tendency to think the financial system works well for everybody. But for people who have money, guess what? It does work well. The Fundstrat managing partner says the impact of a spot Bitcoin ETF getting authorized in the US is being underestimated. Quoting him again, I think the Bitcoin ETF, I think people underestimate how important that will be. And the multiplier right now, if a Bitcoin ETF is authorized, is roughly 4 to 1, meaning $1 of inflows is $4 to the change in the price of Bitcoin's market cap. So if you get to $100 billion or to $200 billion of demand, that's $800 billion. And in the event that a spot Bitcoin ETF apps are rejected in the US, Lee says, if you don't get an ETF, then you are going to rely on sort of organic network effects. But I do think an ETF is very likely, and that would also be a very important and underestimated catalyst. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Thomas Lee that a Bitcoin ETF is likely to be approved. He says very likely. I also like to point out that the track record of BlackRock getting their ETFs approved by the SEC is like 575 to 1. So the odds are definitely in the favor of it getting approved. And I'll include this also in the show notes below the video in the description in case you want to watch this entire interview that Tom Lee did on CNBC. In the interview, because I watched it, he mostly talks about stocks stocks like in the S&P 500. Then at the very end of the interview, he was pressed on, his prediction for Bitcoin, in which I just covered with you here in today's show. Also have this thread over on Crypto Twitter. And for those of you not following me on Crypto Twitter, I do include my Twitter URL in the description in the show notes. But if you want to just go to it directly, my username handle on Twitter is Crypto News Yes. That's because Crypto News Alerts, when I created this account years ago, was already taken. So that's why on Twitter it's Crypto News Yes, just FYI. And you can see I transcribed this. And if you actually go to my main Twitter here, you can see I am very active. I just want to show you some of the type of stuff I share. Here's a recent Michael Saylor prediction, which I transcribed, and he also says it looks like a spot ETF will probably get approved. And if you scroll down, he goes on to say that, Schwab is synonymous with Wall Street, 100 years of Wall Street. He's talking about all these institutional players. He says it's a big deal when Jerome Powell says it's not going away, and when Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC and CFTC, both say it's a digital commodity. Digital commodity might not sound like much, but when you go down the next round, like it's a Ponzi scheme or a scam or tulip bulbs, the difference between tulip bulbs and digital commodity is a 0 versus 1. And here's the most powerful part of what he shared. I have said before, and I'll repeat it again, if it's not going to 0, it's going to $1 million. It's either nothing, and if it's nothing, then it's getting scrubbed out and banned. And of course, we now know it is not getting banned. There is no way that Fidelity, Citadel, BlackRock, Charles Schwab, Deutsche Bank, Credit Agricole, Banco Santander all decide they're interested in this, then they're not endorsing a tulip bulb, right? Once you go from 0 to 1, then the question is, well, it's an asset class, and if it is not going away, what is it worth? Well, it's worth 1% of the assets in the world, so 1% drives it up by a factor of 10 to 20, and that's quoting Michael Saylor with his $1 million price prediction. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Giga Chad. And now for our live Q&A. Massive shout out to everyone here today in the live chat. I'm going to start rattling out some comments. Welcome Balco Bulls, welcome Bitcoin Maximus, welcome Nathan Roth, welcome Glenn T, welcome Grigio, Black Swan the Don, welcome, good to see ya. Philip Sigel Co, welcome, good to see ya. A lot of people here, love it. MJ, what's good, fam? Good to see you, buddy. This is why the SEC has greenlit all spot Bitcoin ETFs ASAP. Let's go. Michael Volkman, what's poppin'? Appreciate you tuning in. Much love, much respect. MJ says gold back BRICS currency, Bitcoin back US dollar. Who is better? Bitcoin, yo. Word up. He also says the USA should stack all Dogecoin. Also, as a defensive move, it is the only network and code 95% Bitcoin pristine. Very interesting, fam. Thanks for tuning in and sharing. Welcome, y'all. Ricardo Rodriguez, good to see you as well from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico in the building. And we also have LFC Liverpool Film Club, Tony Jeffries in the house. Welcome, Tony. Appreciate you tuning in as always, fam. Maximus says, hola, what's good, everyone? Good to see you, fam. What's new with you? I was wondering if any of the fam could share any experience they might have had with your sponsor from a few weeks ago, the Wavebot. Joel Peterson's Wavebot looks really interesting. That is right. They were a sponsor of the show approximately for a couple of weeks. If anyone has used that particular trading bot, feel free to share in the comments so that other people can see your results. I think that would be awesome. And great question, by the way. Wavebot looks great, but I can't seem to get any info or testimonials. Was wondering if there was any uptake. Also, you may want to check ClickBank. It is an official ClickBank product, so there's probably a lot of reviews you should be able to find. But anyways, if anyone has any experience, do reach out to Tony. His username is LFC Liverpool Film Club, just FYI. Invert Tom Lee. Samir. Brogon, what's good? What does LFG mean? It means let's frickin' go. That's what it means. Probably means a lot of other things, but that's what I use it as. By the way, to say my name, it's bruh. Gone as in 2 words. Bro gone. Okay, so like bruh, gone, bro gone. Got it. What's up, Chris Minka? Good to see you. Mona Luisa, 78. Let's get the party started. Whoop. That's right. Also a reminder, once the Bitcoin price action hits 6 figures, we're going to have a celebration party here in Puerto Rico, and you are all invited. Hopefully we get that party sooner than later. Let's get it. Balco Bulls, what a wonderful day to be mining crypto and enjoying some JV in the afternoon. Interesting. Which cryptocurrencies are you currently mining? Do enlighten us, please. Renabar Riche, tuning in from Vancouver. Washington, Bitcoin for me. Always. Thanks, bro. That's what's up. There's nothing better than the real thing, baby, as they once said. Hey, JB, how's it goes? Welcome from Japan. Zingai Photo. I don't know if I ever pronounced that correctly, but I appreciate the support. Boomer Futurist, welcome. Good to see you, fam. Maximus, let's go. Today is a green-tastic day. Definitely a good day for the altcoin and overall crypto market. Do you do consulting? I don't. Evening fam from Boz in Wrexham, UK. Let's freaking go. Welcome, Boz. Chris says, Richie, what are you looking to learn? Well, I guess to re-answer that question, do I do private consulting like one-on-one? No. Can you get some free consulting advice in a live stream like this? Absolutely, because I'm willing to answer any questions you guys have. So take advantage of it, because I don't do any individual stuff. I'm too busy. My best advice, buy low, sell high, never buy sketchy coins. Great advice, bro. Gone. Nice arms, bro. Appreciate the support, fam. Much love. I'm just trying to look like Kennedy Jr. here. You know what I mean? Pod number 1346 is crazy, says Robbie Murrow. What's so crazy about it? Hopefully crazy good. Pump it up. Pump Philadelphia. Are you from Philadelphia? I like that. Pumpadelphia. Stizzle, what's good? Loved RFK before he started getting on board with Bitcoin. Now it's a must, says Robbie. Word up. So I take it you're going to be voting for Kennedy. Here in Puerto Rico, we don't have the right to vote for the United States president. So it is what it is. Anyways, checking in from Virginia. What's up, Bart DeBellis? Good to see you, fam. Coinos 100X. Is that an altcoin project you're bullish on? Tufail Ahmed? I haven't heard of that one. Adam says, all the altcoins I own are so underwater they could visit the Titanic. Says Adam too. Word. Wreckage. Bro, were you born and raised in Puerto Rico or something? No, I wasn't. I was born in New York. My parents are from Brooklyn. I was born in Long Island. I grew up in New York till I was about 8, then spent maybe 4 or 5 years in California in Solvang. Then we relocated to Florida. I grew up most of my life in Florida, but then I've lived all over the world. I spent 13 months in China back in 2010. I've lived in Costa Rica multiple times. I've lived in... where else? I don't know. I've lived all over the world. I visited all over the world. I lived in Medellin, Colombia. Beautiful place. I wouldn't say live permanently in Bali, but I visited, I visited a lot of places. I've probably been to like 30 countries. I've lived all over the world. I've experienced a lot from a very young age, which I'm very grateful for. But I'm in Puerto Rico because I love here in the Caribbean. It's close to Florida. Also, there's tremendous tax advantages naturally just being here and making this my primary residence, which we talk about from time to time. If you guys are wondering more specific, I'll share more specific, but it's a great place to visit if you've never been here. I've been living here full time since 2018 after the 2017 bull market. And I'm like, yo, I need to take advantage of some of these, advantages. Anyways, the boys are back in town. What's up, fam? Good to see you, Kelvin Watson. What's poppin'? Litecoin halving will be passed because of the XRP news. That's kind of sad if that's true. You know what I mean? Especially for Litecoin holders. But then again, I mean, how many of you are truly holding Litecoin right now? Let me know. It is an OG coin, naturally. I think it's the original fork from Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just bought $500 of Litecoin. Says, bro, gone. Probably not a bad move. We shall see if it pumps because of the halving. Totally understand. As the Litecoin halving always front runs the Bitcoin halving. You know what I mean? So usually Litecoin front runs Bitcoin every halving. So it'll be interesting. AB Franklin says RFK. Am I saying JFK? If I did that, my apologies, because I'm not intending to say, his uncle, John F. Kennedy Jr., but RFK, Robert Kennedy Jr. My apologies, fam. Thanks for the correction, AB. The dollar will actually have value, says Quan Long, if it's backed by gold and Bitcoin. I highly doubt it. You got to remember, I just don't see the central banking cartels and the people who control the world backing their currency with Bitcoin. But if it was to happen, obviously the price action is going to go parabolic. But I'm not holding my breath, but it's a great thought in my opinion. I think gold is more likely, but what good is that? We've seen this scenario before. They can still confiscate everyone's gold and then the currency, the fiat currency would be worthless. So who would even trust that? You know what I mean? They should just go on a Bitcoin standard if they really want to change the world. Bitcoin is the currency. No need for the dollar. Exactly, Stizzle. I'm with you on that. 100%. I agree. Nexoxa, that's a project that's maturing into something quite amazing. Well, thank you for sharing, Baco Bulls. I haven't heard of that one either. Laid here, fam. Wasabi. Are you talking about for like a node Wasabi, like the app for Lightning? I've heard of Wasabi. I haven't used it personally. Oh, you're from Wasabi. Where the heck is that? Is that an actual city? Let me know. It's golf day. Got to do what you got to do. Appreciate you tuning in while you're golfing. G Money, what's up? Soaking up all the heat and stacking stats in Mississippi, says Tommy Walton. Shout out to Tommy. Appreciate you tuning in. And shout out to Mississippi. No mods. I don't know why that was shared. But anyways, Digital was... Oh, I see. We got some moderators in there. Digital was around earlier. That's what's up. I think I need to create more moderators, so I got to give these permissions to some other people. Like, for example, can I do that in real time? Let's see. Add as a moderator. Guess what? Bitcoin Maximus, you are, can review and can manage block words, standard moderator. Okay, I just made you a moderator, Bitcoin Maximus, because you deserve it. If you choose to have this role, if you don't want the responsibility, I understand. I'll give it to someone else, but let me know. But hopefully that helps out, get some of the scammers out of the chat, trying to mess up our live experience. RFK JV 2024, word up. Hey, Glenn, what's up? Watching live, such a pleasure to do so. Very humbling, greatly appreciate that. And shout out to the official Crypto News Alerts mascot chilling on the tile floor in the heat here, Mr. Nipsey. I think he is going to be the dark horse, RFK Jr. I just hope, like, Biden was just going viral, falling asleep in a meeting. If this guy gets reelected and they say you got all the votes again, he's no comment. It's just not fair. 420 to the people. Shout out to Statwise Jenks. What's good, fam? Philip, this is BS how there can be an ETF when Bitcoin has no registered office. So who is controlling the ETF? BlackRock. They control the world. Get with it. Japan in the building, says that. Word up. It's okay, JB. I called you Jay-Z a while back. That's right, Boz. Close enough. I don't mind being the $1 billion Jay-Z. Jigga man. I'll gladly take that. Anyways, over 95% in Bitcoin, but I have a tiny Litecoin allocation left over the years ago. That's what's up. Wasabi equals what's up. Okay. I ate wasabi today when I had sushi with my daughter. Went to a Japanese restaurant. Lots of wasabi. Love it. I can moderate taking a BR, says Corey. Nate says, Maximus, with great power comes great responsibility. Gracias, Crypto News Alerts amigos. One love. I appreciate you willing to help. It just helps out everyone here, so thank you. I'm going to Puerto Rico this February. Where should I go? Great question. It's a beautiful island. There's many places to visit. The first place that I lived in Puerto Rico when I relocated here with my family in 2018 was a private beach resort called Palmas del Mar. In Humacao is the territory. Highly recommend checking it out. Great place to visit, great place to live. It's very safe. It's family oriented. Golf, if you're into golf, beautiful golf courses. A beautiful, what's it called? Like a water park built in the community. I have a lot of friends out there, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere in the sense it's far from the city, maybe 90 minutes out. If you want to be close to the city, like San Juan, there's a lot of other options around San Juan, such as, my mind went blank. But one city, Santurce, close, right on the outskirts of San Juan, probably a nice place to stay. And then there's a very popular location where almost everyone goes, but the city slipped my mind for some reason. If I remember, I'll let you know. Another city, the most expensive and nicest city in Puerto Rico, where a lot of influencers live, like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Ricky Martin, Peter Schiff. They all live in Dorado. I lived in Dorado before relocating here. That's another beautiful place. So there's just a lot to see. My recommendation would just be visit the island, spend some time here on this side of the island, spend some time on that side of the island, and see what you personally like the most. Do you think Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is a buy right now since it's at a discount? If the ETF passes for Grayscale, that's an automatic 30%. Great question. I guess it's really speculation because it'll be interesting to see if their Grayscale Bitcoin Trust GBTC product actually gets converted into a Bitcoin ETF. I'm hoping the SEC gives them permission. That would be in the best interest of all the investors. But at the same time, trust nobody, verify everything. And again, it's just speculation. Mark versus Elon, who will win in a UFC fight? I say Mark because he got more experience, says Brogan. Just looking at their shape, naturally, Elon is much heavier weight. However, Mark has been training, and he's training with the champs right now. Israel Adesanya, the 205-pound legendary champion who will go down in UFC history. And you also have Volkanovski, who's considered the pound-for-pound champion. I believe he's from New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken, or Australia, sorry, down under. And he's training with the top people in the world. But then again, Elon's training with, what's his name, from Canada, considered the greatest UFC fighter of all time. So if I had to bet, I'm not a betting man, but I would go with Mark just because he has been active. He looks ripped and fit. He has like a six-pack. He kind of looks like me a little bit. So I'd have to give it to Zuck. But I'd rather see Elon win because I support Twitter over Facebook, just saying, but that's just me. Let me know your thoughts, guys. The sun's out, the guns are out. You already know, fam. What's up, Robbie? Good to see you. Bitcoin crushing my 401k. Thanks for the intel. That's what's up, Ryan. Much love, much respect. I'm only DCAing to alts at this level, says Black Swan Dawn. Dollar cost average all the way, says Maximus. Word up. The guy who played Jim Gordon on Gotham was on MSNBC trashing Bitcoin and looked like the dope he is. Probably paid to do so, like all other influencers who are bashing Bitcoin. I got some Litecoin a while back, says Boz. Is it Baz or Boz? Please clarify. In the hope that the halving would pump it so I could sell and stack sats. Handled it, says Corey. Word up. This is a different Tom Lee, not the founder of Litecoin. Oh, word? What other Tom Lee are we talking about? Roy Collins. 185 for Israel. That's right. Oh, my bad. Did I say 205? That's light heavyweight. My bad. My bad. Yeah, Jamal Hill had to relinquish his belt, ultimately hand it back because he just got an injury. That's the guy. GSP, George St. Pierre, is the one training with Elon. Thanks for the clarification, Digital Maniac. Appreciate my UFC fans out here. I've been following UFC a very long time. One of my favorite entertainments out there. Martial arts. Bitcoin enhance your security. You already know, savvy Bitcoiner. I appreciate it. Anyways, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you guys and gals in today's show. I broke down the latest technical analysis. We also discussed France's third largest bank is officially approved to offer Bitcoin custody and trading to their clients, which is a good look. We also discussed Bitcoin miners are hedging with recent sell-offs according to the latest Bitfinex report, which I shared with you. We also discussed the Litecoin halving is only 13 days away, and we discussed when a Litecoin price rally will likely come, as well as presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. vows to back the US dollar with Bitcoin if elected president. And yeah, Bitcoin rally also from Mark Yusko. He says a speculative blow off top is likely in 2024. And we also discussed Fundstrat's Thomas Lee predicting a Bitcoin rally to $200,000 and says that people are underestimating the impact of a spot Bitcoin ETF. And he also says a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States is very likely. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next?